Hello there everyone, my name is Clarissa. Welcome back to my channel. So for today's reading, I am really wanting to focus on who you really are, like who you are below the surface, who you are, the part of you that you don't necessarily show to everyone. And these may be things that you already know to be true about yourself, but there may be things that you don't necessarily realize as well. Things that can be beneficial to you, things that you may do that harm yourself. So I really wanted to tap into that energy and try to figure out, who you are and even like what your purpose may be. And yeah, just mostly though, like what or who you are really like below the surface. Who is it that you are deep at your core that you kind of hide from other people? So that is the message that we're going for today for you guys. And if you're new here, again, hi, my name is Clarissa. I do spirituality based things on this channel. Mostly right now, pick a card readings is what I've been focusing on because I've been enjoying doing them. And so that is what I have for you again this week. Now, if you're new to Pick a Card readings and this is the first one that you've ever stumbled across, hello, welcome to the world of tarot and oracle readings here on YouTube. So what you'll want to do for the video is we'll go over each pile here momentarily, but you will want to pick the pile that you are most intuitively drawn to. I personally don't believe that you can pick an incorrect pile. I think that whatever you're drawn to, there's a reason why you're drawn to it, and there is some sort of message in there for you. However, if you get to the beginning of this reading and you're like, this doesn't really sound like me at all, feel free to pick another pile. And if none of them resonate with you, maybe this just wasn't the reading for you today. But there are tons of ways that you can do this. You can pick one specific pile. You can listen to all of the piles and see like what resonated with you best at the end. Whatever you would like to do. I don't really think that there's a right or a wrong way, just as long as you're listening to your intuition and what you're being guided to pick. So anyway, we have 3 piles for today. This is pile number 1, this is 2, this is 3. So for pile number 1, we have this, it's like a lightly heated citrine. It's actually really pretty. I don't know how well you can see that, but it's really got some like nice dimension to it. So that is for pile number 1. For pile number 2, we have hematite or hematite. I'm not sure how you say it. I'm bad with pronunciation, but this is the hematite. Very pretty. And then for pile number 3, we have a carnelian. And I like this one because it has like, those pieces of white in it too. It's really a very nice stone. Nice crystal, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so that is for pile number 3. So if you need to take a minute, pause the video, meditate, listen to your intuition, whatever is drawing you. But if this is something that is new to you, I would encourage you to like pause the video for a minute, take a second, and then pick whichever pile you are the most drawn to. Once you have done that, there are timestamps in the description box down below that you can click on to take you to your reading for today. Thank you so much for joining me today, guys, and I look forward to seeing you in your reading. All right, hello there, pile number 1. If you picked the lightly heated, lightly treated citrine, then this is your reading for today. So to start off, I went ahead and these are the cards that you probably saw at the beginning and the intro as well. So I have 2 cards for you here from the Wild Unknown Archetypes Tarot or Oracle deck, whatever. And I wanted to get 2 cards to kind of get a better like idea as to like who you are at your core. So let's go ahead and take a look at those here. So you got the Kiss and you got the Vow. And to be honest with you, my first like inclination with seeing these cards is that you are a very like loyal and dedicated person. I get the feeling that relationships, close relationships, are very important to you, and that when you make promises to people, you keep your end of the bargain up. So I get the feeling that you are somebody that people go to with like when they have a secret that they don't want anybody else to know, or you're somebody that's like kind of like a confidant for other people because you take your friendships and your relationships very seriously, and you are somebody that the people around you feel like they can trust with information. I also get the feeling from this card that you are somebody that really values romantic relationships, and I get the feeling that you're somebody that, you know, seeks out long-term partnerships with people. You're not somebody that likes to have a lot of like flings or one-night stands or, you know, meaningless interaction with people. You're somebody that likes to get deep with people, and the best way that you do that is by, you know, forming long-lasting, long-term relationships with people. Now, it's interesting too with the kiss coming up, because literally like seeing these cards together just makes me think of like marriage and like other serious commitments. But it's interesting because the kiss can also point to like the ability to connect with the divine. And so you could be somebody as well that has like psychic gifts, and you may not even know you have them. Truthfully, I think that we all have some psychic gift that is, you know, more prominent for us, one that really kind of sticks out for us and is the one that we rely on more, and the one that just kind of comes naturally to us. And then I think that we are able to build upon like our psychic gifts. And I feel like for you though, this may be easier to tap into than for others. You know, sometimes you really have to work hard at it, and I feel like for you, a lot of these gifts kind of just come naturally. They're things that you were given in this lifetime because it's important for you to keep that connection with spirit and with the divine. So I just really think that that's pretty cool. I think that you are somebody that is able to connect easily, but again, I feel like you are somebody like at your core that really values committed, loving, long-term relationships. Let's go ahead and look at, so I have some cards from the Black Moon Astrology deck as well, and I wanted to see if we could get any more information about like your astrological placements, themes that may be heavy for you in your life, and just like more information about who you are. So we have here Pluto transformation, we have the Sun Spirit, and then we also have air element communicating. Okay, very interesting. I'm gonna move these up just a smidge. Just gonna make sure we have room. Okay, let me just make sure we're still in frame. Okay, we are, cool. So I think that this is really interesting. I feel like, again, I feel like this is kind of pointing to the fact that relationships and like your ability to connect with other people is very important to you, especially with this coming up, because air is all about communication. It's all about, you know, keeping that open line, expressing yourself verbally. And I also like with air, it makes me think of the tarot, the Suit of Swords, and air can be a very challenging element for some people because air is all about the mind. And so you may be somebody that lives in your head a lot. And I really get that feeling too with the Pluto transformation. I feel like you're kind of constantly like transforming internally, and it may not be something that you make readily available to everyone in your life. Like, I get the feeling that you are a pretty guarded person. You don't necessarily like let just anybody into your inner circle or anybody into your life. You tend to keep things kind of private and hidden because Pluto is all about the underworld, right? It's all about the things that are within the darkness, that even like the dark and light within ourselves. Like, you are somebody that really kind of keeps your darkness to yourself, and it's not something that you readily share with people until you feel comfortable with them. With Sun Spirit coming out, I feel like you're a very like lively person. You may even be somebody with like a lot of air placements, because people with air placements, Gemini, Aquarius, Libra, are very chatty, very talkative, just have like a lot of energy. Like, my best friend is a Gemini actually, and she's that person that like if everybody is laughing in a room, like they're all surrounding her and she's telling a story. Like, just very like much so the life of the party energy. You know, there could even be some like Leo placements in your chart. But yeah, I just get this feeling that you're like kind of a larger than life person to everybody else. And even though you may have a lot going on mentally, you're that person that like can always crack a joke, can always make other people smile, is always kind of like the center of attention without even meaning to be, because you just shine so brightly and people are attracted to like your uplifting aura. But again, like I said, you know, because this reading is really about what do you keep hidden from everyone, and I feel like you use that kind of as like your mask, right? Like that is who you portray yourself to be to everybody, but you have a lot going on mentally, like all of the time. I feel like you're somebody that doesn't really know how to shut off their brain. And again, I feel like you're kind of always internally constantly evolving, and you may be going through it a lot of the time and people don't even realize it or don't even know, because you have this like larger than life, happy external persona that you give off to other people. I think that's very interesting. You know, the sun can also talk to about our ego, because, you know, it is like our sun sign. It's the thing that we will often kind of like fall back onto in terms of our thinking and the way that we are. And so for some of you, this could also be saying that a lot of the time you let ego dictate your life, and you let your subconscious mind and your ego and like your thoughts control your actions and the things that you do within your life. You could also be somebody that has like great leadership potential, especially with like this ability to kind of command a room and command other people's attention. I feel like you are somebody that has like, you could have great like leadership qualities that you don't even notice about yourself, and perhaps there have been people in your life that have told you, oh, you would make a great leader, you'd be really good at this, and you just don't necessarily see that in yourself. Before we go any further, I do want to apologize. My French bulldog is in the room with me, and you may hear him breathing heavily in the background because he's kind of moving around. He's being himself. So anyway, if you hear a lot of noise in the background, that's him. So let's go ahead and move on to, I'm gonna bring this up here. We'll go ahead and move on. I have some tarot cards for you as well, and we'll look a little bit deeper. Okay, so we have the Star. We have the Empress, love that. We have the Six of Wands, the Nine of Wands, and the King of Swords. Ooh, very interesting. Okay, yep, we're still in shot. We're still good. Sorry, guys. Just want to make sure that you guys can see everything. Okay. So right off the bat, I really do get this feeling that you're somebody that is just like very tenacious, and, you know, especially with having like that sun element kind of come up here, you're somebody that really like shines in the limelight. Like, you know, it looks like there are all of these people like applauding this person. And again, I feel like that plays into just like what we were saying with you being the person that's kind of like the center of attention without even meaning to be, because people just really naturally gravitate towards your energy. You know, the Six of Wands can also point to someone that is a leader, somebody that's victorious, somebody that other people want to follow because they have emanated a level of success that they want. And, you know, it could be like actual success, but for you, it could also just be like who you are as an individual, your personality that kind of draws people in, that external like persona that you put on that draws other people in toward you. I want to say though that I feel like this again kind of relates to who you are externally. And I think that with the King of Swords coming up here in particular, that again, some of you I think would make a very good, very fair leader. The King of Swords is someone who is very, very wise and can see things from like multiple different angles that other people may not see. I love the way that the King of Swords is actually represented in this deck. And you know, we have an owl here. Owls have that persona of being very, very wise, like wise beyond their years, old soul. And so you could be somebody that, you know, you've lived multiple lifetimes, and even though you may not think of yourself as very knowledgeable, you're knowledgeable on a lot of different things that other people, that you just like assume other people know as much as you do, but not everybody does. I feel like you're somebody that also can learn based off of seeing other people's mistakes, right? So like you don't necessarily have to go through the pain of, you know, having your own like failures or mistakes. You're able to learn just by seeing other people do things. And you're like, I definitely wouldn't want to do that. I saw how that went for them, so I'm going to avoid that action actually. You're just like very wise. And, you know, this again brings off very much so like a lot of mental energy. I feel like you are somebody that just has a brain that goes like a million miles a minute, and you're always thinking ahead. You're always thinking about the next step. You're always thinking about what you could do differently and, you know, what else you could do next. And I just think that that's really, really cool. Like, you're also somebody, again, that people come to because you're so wise. They come to you for advice because they feel like you give very balanced, very unbiased advice, and you're very logical when you're giving advice to other people. I will say that I get the feeling that you don't always take your own advice, but that you give really, really good advice to other people. You're able to, you know, this could also kind of connect with you, like being able to connect so well with the divine, because you are able to kind of give people advice. You receive these like downloads that you may not even necessarily see as downloads, and you are able to give people this like very sound, very balanced, very unbiased advice, and, you know, help them along the way. With the star coming up here, I do feel like you are somebody that is kind of like that beacon of light for other people. Give me 1 second, y'all. I'm gonna kick my dog out because he's licking his paws. Come on, baby. All right. Sorry about that. I love him, but when he starts licking his paws like that, I'm just like, dude, because he's so obsessive. He just like has to be so obsessive all the time. So anyway, as I was saying with the star here, I feel like you are definitely that person that when you're providing advice to people, you can remain like very unbiased and very balanced, but you also do provide people with this like sense of hope. And again, it's like your soul is like this beautiful beacon of light, and there's like so much light in here, like in the cards too. Like we have the fire here that's lit. We have the, I'm assuming it's like a sun, you know, all these lights on this individual. We have the sun actually back here, and I feel like you are just this beautiful positive light for a lot of people. The interesting thing about the star too is I feel like with the star there is this level of balance between our logical brain as well as our intuition, and I feel like you are somebody that, without even necessarily recognizing it, again, you're somebody that balances pretty well with using your intuition and using your logical brain. And I feel like for the most part, you're someone that sees the value in both and understands that both have their place. And you may be like at certain points of your life, you may, the scales may kind of tilt and you may rely on one more than the other, but you always do come back to that balance because you know that there is importance and validity in both of them. And I feel like that's like really beautiful. It's not something that everybody necessarily is able to do and able to recognize. But you know, the star is really about guidance. It's about hope. And I feel like you are somebody that even when you don't know for sure what you're going to do with yourself, because again, you may, you may give great advice, but that doesn't mean you take your own advice when you're talking to other people. And so I feel like you are definitely like that guidance that other people look for. And again, I feel like it may be because you are so closely connected to the divine without even realizing it. With the Nine of Wands coming up here, I feel like you, like, to your core, are a very like passion driven person. You are somebody that can easily overcome obstacles if you are doing something, or the obstacles are related to something that you're very passionate about. And I feel like you often, get to this point where other people would give up, but you keep going, you keep trucking along because you know what you're truly capable of. And I think that this is a beautiful quality that you have, because with the Empress coming up here too, from what, from like how I interpret this card, essentially, you literally have this beautiful like knowledge and this world like within you, and you are able to create such a beautiful reality for yourself just by simply being you. And I think that that's really a really beautiful message that's coming through for you from Spirit, is that you have everything that you need within you. You are a powerful creator, and you are somebody that, again, other people look to for guidance and for help. And yeah, I just feel like you really embody even like this motherly energy, because you are so wise and you are so kind to other people, especially the people that you have let in, that you like have committed to a relationship, whether it be platonic or romantic with. You give a lot of yourself to those people. And I think that that's a very beautiful quality, because you are so caring and so nurturing and so loving. And, again, you're so knowledgeable. You definitely, like, this definitely isn't your first life. You've definitely lived other lives. And because of that, you've brought some of that knowledge into this lifetime with you. And again, we sit there and we think, oh, well, everybody has to have this knowledge. It's not just me that knows these things. And while to a degree I believe that that's true, I think that you do a really good job of expressing it. You're very good about communicating this knowledge, and you're very good about being able to receive like downloads about, information or situations that other people just can't tap into the way that you can. And so you really are like this nurturing, kind, beautiful soul that just wants to like help everyone that you can around you. And I think that's really commendable and beautiful. But again, I think that I think you're very driven. I think that you are driven by your passions and the things that you really love to do. And, I feel like that may be why the sun is coming up here too, because you shine the brightest when you're doing the things that make you happy and make you, feel like you're in flow with the universe. And I think that's really cool. Let's go ahead and look at these other cards that we have for you too. So I do have some cards from the tea leaf. Gosh, let me see. I can't even remember what this deck is called. I always forget. Tea leaf fortune cards. So I just wanted to like get a little bit more information about who you are, and some more depth information about who you are. So we have Claw, be careful, do not take risks. And we have Fly, a period of ill health, depression. So with Fly in particular, I feel like when you are not properly, because, we talked about how I feel like you're someone that sees the value in intuition, sees the value in the logical brain. And like when you're at your best, those things are balanced and you're using them both accordingly. But I feel like when you get out of balance, and when you do lean more towards like, mental illness or, mental health issues, it's because you are focusing so much on your logical brain. And that's really hard, because I feel, like I said earlier, I feel like you're somebody that has like, especially with the star coming out, I feel like you have Aquarius placements, or like strong air placements. And it can be really difficult, especially like if you have an air moon. Like I feel I have a Libra moon, and my mind is constantly going. And you may be somebody that is more prone to anxiety and depression when you aren't listening to the intuitive side of yourself as well. And so I think that this is coming up for you as a reminder from Spirit that it's okay to listen to your intuition and do things accordingly to, like, based off of what you're drawn to, or, you know, what's calling you, and to not overthink as much. Okay, let me just take a quick drink here. But yeah, I feel like this is really coming out, not because you're destined to be mentally ill or depressed or anxious or, you know, have any other illnesses, but as a reminder, you know, illness is brought on by, like, it can be brought on by stress and mental stress and illness and difficulties and issues. And I don't think we give enough credit to how much we do develop or the illnesses that come about in our lives based off of our mental state. And so I think that Spirit is wanting to say to you that it's okay to depend on your intuition a little bit more and to do things that kind of help ground you out of like that deep spiral thinking that you may be more prone to, just based off of your placements, like your astrological placements and stuff. Excuse me. I feel like the be careful, do not take risks is actually coming out for you because of this heavy mental energy. I feel like you're somebody that, don't get me wrong, I think you're very determined and you're very passion driven, but because you live so much in your mind, you are somebody that also may overthink your decisions and the opportunities that are being presented to you, because you're like, oh, well, I'm not capable of that, or I don't really know if that's something I should be participating in or whatever. And you don't just listen to that initial like gut instinct, gut response, that inner knowing that is something you should pursue. You sit there and mull it over 500 times when you really just need to go for it. And I feel like this is actually coming out for you because you are the one that says this to yourself. You tell yourself not to take risks. You tell yourself that you can't do this or you can't do that. And so you may have some, you know, self-limiting beliefs to kind of work through. Because I really think that at your core, who you really are is somebody that is dedicated and devoted, somebody that is very wise beyond their years and has a lot of knowledge and like leadership to offer to the world and to other people, because you shine so bright. You're someone that just attracts people to you naturally. And you know, I feel like when you are away from who you truly are, these things come out for you. And I feel like that is what Spirit is saying here, is that when you start to, you know, meander away from who you actually are, so who you actually are is here, and you start to kind of drift away from that, then, you know, these mental insecurities and depression and anxiety and things like that can come about for you because you aren't being who you're truly meant to be, which is this individual that's meant to shine and lead and provide wise counsel to those around them. And, you know, I really feel like you're someone that's here to show people that it's okay to follow your passions and your desires, and it's okay to like have faith and believe in yourself, and just like trust the universe to guide you. And I don't know, I feel like you're a very beautiful, beautiful soul, and I don't think you give yourself enough credit for that, pile number one. So I just really wanted to reiterate that to you. And going back here, because it just kind of drew my attention again to this Pluto card, you know, Pluto is all about rebirth, regeneration, death, and I feel like you're somebody that you will continue to like shed your skin throughout your life like a snake, and you'll continue to mold into like a truer version of yourself each time. And yeah, I just think that you're someone that's here to show us that it's okay to change and grow and evolve and be different, not be the same person you were 5 years ago, and really continue to become yourself, because that's what we're doing throughout our lifetime, right? We're continuing to become who we're supposed to become. So yeah, I do have one more card for you guys too. This is from the Work Your Light Oracle deck, and I just wanted like one little last piece of information for you. So you got Pillar of Light, your vibration is rising, you are the Oracle. What a beautiful way to end the reading. I really think that that honestly speaks for itself. Like, I think that you are this beautiful, and I've said it like over and over again, this beautiful beacon of light for those around you. You are someone that just shines so brightly and draws other people into you because you're someone that, you know, and like I said earlier, I do think that a lot of that is like persona. It's who you are externally as well, but I think internally even you're someone that just shines so bright that it spills over into the external as well. So you have such beautiful positive energy that you're hard to deny. And I'm just going to go ahead and leave your reading there, you guys. I really, really hope that this resonated for you and that you're able to kind of see what I see in this reading, and that you're a very beautiful soul. You are somebody that I feel like is here to, you know, help raise the vibrations and help people better connect to themselves and who they truly are. And I think you're very wise. I think you're wise beyond your years, and just remember that it's okay to continue to like share that with people, because I think you do a pretty good job of that already. But you know, share your light, share your wisdom and your knowledge, and obviously don't do it unprovoked, but do it with people that are asking for it and people that you know feel comfortable sharing those things with. So anyway, I hope that this resonated for you guys. If it did, please leave me a comment down below. Give this video a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I put out new videos every week, new pick a card readings every week, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks. Bye. All right, hello there, my pile number 2 viewers. If you picked the hematite, I think is how you say it. Sorry if I'm butchering that, but if you picked this lovely stone, then this is your reading. So I went ahead, these cards you probably recognize from the intro. They're from the Wild Unknown Archetypes deck. And I asked for 2 cards from Spirit for you to kind of give me a better idea of who you are, like at your core. So let's go ahead and look at those here real quick. So we have the Bardo, very interesting. And we have the Pilgrim. Okay, cool. Okay, so with the Bardo showing up, I feel like you are somebody that is very connected to the spiritual world. You may be somebody that is already in tune with your psychic abilities. If not, I just want to preface and say that we all have psychic abilities. I believe anyway that we all have psychic abilities, but I feel like you're somebody that maybe, you know, has seen and spoken to the dead, because the Bardo is all about the veil between this life and the next life, right? So I feel like you're somebody that has always kind of been connected to spirit. Maybe you had like weird paranormal experiences when you were younger. But yeah, I feel like you're somebody that has always been connected, has always been able to receive messages. And you may be somebody too that like hears things, so you could have like clairaudience. But I don't think you're limited here. I think that we all have access to like all of the clairs anyway. But for you in particular, I feel like these things come naturally to you. Like you would be able to awaken any of your other clairs without a whole lot of effort, I feel like, because you are very well connected. With the Pilgrim coming up, I love this for you. I feel like, okay, I feel a lot of Sagittarius energy, but I feel like with the Pilgrim coming up here, you are just like a natural wandering soul. You are somebody that like that whole wanderlust thing is definitely about you, and like it's literal. Like you are somebody that loves to travel, loves to meet new people, loves to expand your mind and your soul, and you just love to see all of the beauty that is this planet, and you are constantly like planning your next travels. And the thing that's interesting about the pilgrim is you can definitely be somebody that gets bogged down by like the daily grind, the 9 to 5, but like when you awaken to who you really are, which this is who you are at your core, you're somebody that is meant to not live a conventional life. You are meant to travel and explore and wander the world, okay? And I think that's so cool. I love that. I have a Sagittarius midheaven, and I love a Sag. I love a good Sag, I'll say. I love a Sag, though, because I think that we see eye to eye on, you know, the importance of traveling and like learning from other people and other cultures, and like being able to expand your mind and grow. And I definitely get that vibe here. I really like that. I'm really fucking with you guys so far. I really like this file. Okay, let's take a look. So I also have some cards for you from the Black Moon astrology deck, and I'm just really wanting to see, you know, if I can figure out more about like your astrological placements, your soul, maybe like even your purpose in this lifetime, you know, whatever it may be. So let's go ahead and look here. So we have 9th house, faith. If you were not aware, the 9th house is actually ruled by Sagittarius. So it's funny that we were literally talking about that just a minute ago. We have Yod, destiny. And then we have for you, sorry, I'm just trying to rearrange things so you guys can see. And then we have 2nd house, owning. Okay, very interesting. Very interesting, actually. Okay. Sorry, let me just move these around a little bit for us. Okay. So again, like I was just saying, if you're not already aware, the 9th house is actually ruled by Sagittarius. And the 9th house is all about travel, expansion, philosophy, the occult, or well, not the occult necessarily, but like psychic abilities, your religion, connecting to the divine. You know, there's like a Ouija board here. It looks like this person like has a palm, like a palm reader had mapped out their hand. And so you're very much so somebody that is spiritually inclined, and that may be one of your driving forces in this lifetime, is that your soul is here to spiritually grow and expand. And again, you know, the 9th house is all about travel. It's all about, you know, meeting people with different perspectives, different lifestyles, different ideas on how the world works and, you know, how the world is. And I get the feeling that you're a very open-minded person. You are somebody that can listen to anybody from any political aisle talk about their point of view, and you're able to sit there and understand where they're coming from. You may not agree with them, but you are always open to your mind being changed. And I think that's a very beautiful quality to have, because let's be real, most of us are going to argue our point until we're blue in the face, and I don't get that vibe from you. I really feel like you enjoy learning and you enjoy listening to other people's stories and perspectives about life and about the way that the world works. And you are constantly like, you know, taking little bits and pieces that resonate with you that other people bring up. Then you're like, oh, you know what? I actually really like that idea. Let me incorporate that into my life, or let me, you know, follow the principles of that idea or whatever. But you're very open. With Yod, destiny, I feel like, so if you don't know what a Yod is, you may want to look into it, or a Yod, I don't know, whatever. It actually, like, I couldn't even really tell you. I know it's like part of the Hebrew alphabet though, I think. But anyway, this is something that can be reflected in your birth chart. So you may want to take a look at your birth chart and see if you have a Yod there. I have a Yod in my birth chart, and it essentially represents the finger of God, the finger of fate. And it can mean that you have a very fated life, that this life was destined to occur for you. And that, so like, I really liked this interpretation I heard once about a Yod, because it's one of those things that if like you look it up, like I would really advise if you have TikTok to get on TikTok and search it if you do have a yod in your birth chart, because I feel like there are some creators on TikTok that explain it a little bit better than what you're able to find on the internet, like just doing a Google search. But yods are very interesting because essentially like they can point to a destined lifetime, a lifetime where it's like a test almost. Like it's a lifetime where you have like lived similarly before, or where you have overcome an obstacle previously, and it's like that final exam, if that makes sense. So it's like your soul set up this challenge in your life that you are meant to overcome, and then you will like receive spiritual gifts, you'll receive like abundance even on like the physical plane now. It's just like something that you are destined to overcome, to like advance spiritually, if that makes sense. And then I've also seen creators explain it as an indication that this may be your last lifetime, at least on this planet. And again, it's like your final exam. You know, you're proving that you have learned and you're able to continue to learn and grow, and that your spirit, that your soul is able to recognize, you know, this thing that you're meant to overcome in your lifetime. And for a lot of us that have yods, you are supposed to be the breaker of generational trauma, generational curses within your family. And so I would really implore you to look into it a little bit more. I could talk about it all day, actually. I think it's really fascinating, and as somebody else that has a yod in their chart, it's something that really resonated with me when I first kind of found out about it. And so if you're someone that is always, you know, even as a child thought that you were here for a bigger purpose, then you may very well be right. And again, you may just want to look into this a little bit more, but I think that your soul was destined to live this lifetime, and you're destined to learn something specific. And there may be even parts of your life that may be more difficult than other people's, because your life is such a fated one. Like there are certain things that are going to have to come to an end in your life, that are going to have to happen in your life for you to get where you need to be. And so with that element of it all, destiny and fate are cool to talk about, but sometimes they can make your life more challenging. So I would look into it. You know, there is stuff to be said about the tip of the triangle, which is the apex, and then the other two points, the other two triangular points like at the end. So let me point it out here. So the apex is here at the top, and then here are the other 2 points. And essentially like these 2 points in the chart work together more harmoniously, and they oppose this point here, but essentially it's like you're supposed to be moving toward this point in your lifetime. And you may even want to look into getting like a birth chart reading, because it's something that I still would like for someone to do for me, and it could be very helpful to help you determine like what it is that you're needing to move toward, because that can kind of be the struggle, is figuring out what it is that you're needing to move toward and what it is you're needing to overcome. So definitely look into that. And then let's go ahead and look here at the second house of owning. So I really feel like you are going to come into a good amount of abundance in your lifetime. I feel like one of the things that's interesting about having like a yod is that you may have certain things that you're needing to overcome to fall into this line of like financial abundance, spiritual abundance. Just like I feel like spirit essentially is saying that they have like gifts to give you that you will receive once you overcome your test, right? Once you overcome this challenge. And, you know, especially if you do have, because again, like I said, I feel like I got some Sagittarius energy here. If you do have Sagittarius placements, Sagittarius is actually like a very lucky sign. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, and I'm not saying Sagittariuses don't have to work hard, but with Sagittarius, you'll see that oftentimes like they get, you know, these opportunities that are presented to them that maybe, you know, other people don't get. Especially to like after they've gone through like that Saturn return, it's almost like the universe, spirit kind of blesses them more with opportunities for advancement, opportunities for abundance, things like that. So I would look into to see like who the ruler of your second house is, because you could have Sagittarius in your second house, or you could have like a lot of really good beneficial planets in your second house as well. So I would take a look at that. But yeah, I think that's really interesting. And I do think that this is pointing to you coming into, you know, abundance within your lifetime. Let's go ahead here. So I have some tarot cards for you too. So let's see what more information we can get. Oh my God, dude. Okay, so we got Temperance for you. And Temperance is actually the card that is representative of Sagittarius in the tarot. So that's really cool, actually. I do really get the feeling, like I said earlier, that I'm talking to some Sag placements here. So I would look and see where Sag is in your chart. You may have like a Sag stellium. You could have a lot of planets in the 9th house. Yeah, I do. I feel a lot of Sag energy. Okay, so then we also have Ace of Cups. We have the 5 of Cups. We have the Page of Cups. Okay, so a lot of cups. Cool. And then we have the 3 of Cups. Okay. So I want to say too that you could also be somebody that has like 8th, 9th house placements, because of all the water here. And 8th house is ruled by Scorpio. And so you could also have some like heavy water placements in your chart because of all of the cups that we got here. That's so interesting. So again, I feel like Temperance is coming out here because of like the heavy Sag energy. And you could even be somebody like me that doesn't necessarily, because I don't have any planets in Sagittarius, but like my midheaven, which is like all about career and stuff, is in Sagittarius. So you may want to look into that. But I feel like you are somebody at your core that really tries to seek out balance in life, because Temperance is all about moderation, it's all about balance. But I also get the feeling that this is really pointing to you spiritually awakening as well. I like to look at Temperance as us coming out of our ego death, because, you know, the Death card does come before Temperance. The Death card is number 13, and that is Scorpio energy. And I feel like a lot of the time our ego gets in our way when we're in our younger years, and we have to kind of let our ego die in order for us to spiritually awaken and ascend and become who we're supposed to be. And like you can even see like the wings, like I feel like this individual is very divinely guided, is very well connected to spirit and the spiritual side, and is very well balanced, you know, emotionally, intuitively, logically, just like a very balanced individual. And again, I feel like this is also pointing to the fact that you are somebody that is able to listen to everybody from like everyone's point of view. You're able to listen to and understand other people's point of view. And again, while it may not change your mind about your like about the topic, you are very, very open-minded to other people. But I really feel like this is who you're supposed to be at your core. You're this like awakened, you know, very like balanced and wise, like sage almost. Like I really get, like I said, Sag philosopher vibes. Like I feel like you're somebody that is meant to travel the world and, you know, I don't know, be on like TED Talks or something, talking about your experiences with other people's cultures and the things that they teach you and the things that they learn, because I think everyone has something to teach us. And I think that's something that you're very mindful of, is that you don't know everything. And that's like the mark of like a wise old soul, is knowing that there's so much for you to learn still. And you definitely embody that. I feel like you are somebody that is constantly seeking out knowledge and, you know, other people's perspectives, and you know that there's so much for you to learn and you'll never know everything. And I love that. I'm loving your guys' pile so much. With the Ace of Cups, with all of the cup cards, you know, like I said, I do get very like intuitive, watery vibes, especially too, because like I said in the beginning, with the Bardo coming up, I do feel like you're somebody that is well connected to the spiritual realm. Even if it's something that hasn't awakened in you yet, I do feel like you have a lot of like psychic intuitive abilities. And I do feel like you're somebody that is like very dreamy. You know, this is also like Pisces energy with the Page of Cups, and you're somebody that really loves to romanticize life. Like internally, you're somebody that is very positive, very upbeat, very much so like romanticizes their life and the situations that they're in. And yeah, you just kind of like to think outside the box again. Like you're constantly thinking and growing, and like you think anything could be possible, which I love that. Like I think that you are somebody that your mind is so open and so free that you often do daydream and you often do romanticize, and in good ways. Like you romanticize and think outside the box. You know, you're constantly kind of, you know, coming up with these different creations and ideas. And I think you're somebody that's full of a lot of good ideas because you are willing to listen to the opinions of other people. I feel like you're somebody that like community is very important to you as well. You may not have like a lot of people that you depend on, but those that you do, you're extremely close to. And I feel like it's also something important for you that you are present within your community and you help build and support your community, as well as like other communities that you may not necessarily be a part of, but you see yourself in everyone. Like you're able to put yourself in other people's shoes. You've got like a very big compassionate heart, and I feel like you're able to easily put yourself into other people's shoes and understand that like not everybody's situation is their fault, and not everybody's circumstances that they're in are their fault, and you're able to like see people for what they are, which is other human beings. And I think that's really beautiful, and you build like a very strong connection and community with people that you meet on like your travels. Or I really get the feeling, like this is just kind of coming to me, that you're somebody that when you travel, you have a friend to stay with like wherever you go, because you make friends with people wherever you go because you're so kind and loving and you just have such a generous spirit. And again, you're somebody that's open to other people and their opinions and their ideas, and you like to feel a part of a community, and you like to build very important bonds with people. I do feel like a part of you that maybe other people don't always see. And with the Five of Cups coming up like this, I feel like there may have been points in your life where you didn't necessarily feel like you belonged, where you weren't able to see the beauty in everything around you, where you let the negative things that happened or people said, or the negative things that people said really like bring you down and overcome you. And I feel like as you've kind of worked through some of these things, and you know, maybe something that you are still working on is not letting other people's negativity and their negative energy bring you down. Because again, I feel like at your core, you're a very positive, uplifting, knowledgeable individual. But I do feel like there are times where you kind of feel lost and you feel hopeless, and that may be because you're such a bright being that you don't always feel like you belong here. And you know, you could also be like a starseed. You could look into that as well if that's something you're not familiar with, and you know, potentially you aren't from here anyway, and there have been points in your life where again you don't feel like you belong, and that's why it's really important for you to build community and make other people feel welcomed and like they belong. Because I get the feeling that maybe at certain points in your life you haven't felt like that. I also have some I was like just trying to look at the box for these cards because I literally just said them not that long ago and I already forgot what they're called, but I do have some additional cards for you as well that we'll look at. This is from the Tea Leaf Fortune card deck, and I just wanted to get a little bit more information from Spirit about you and you know, who you are and different, like, oh my God, sorry, my cat, and different archetypes about who you could possibly be. Okay, so we got kite, vacation, very cool, very cool. We got box, you will receive a gift. And then we got scales, keep your life in balance. Oh my God, guys. This is really cool how this is kind of aligned. So I feel like kite actually came out for you because, again, like at your core, who you are, you're a wanderer. You like to travel and explore, and you are definitely a person that should be on an eternal vacation because you love to travel. Traveling is just like who you are. You're a nomad, you're a pilgrim. You just enjoy it so much, and it's such a quintessential part of who you are at your core and like why you're here. You're here to travel and learn and explore and grow and become that old wise philosopher that Sagittarius is. And then with box here, you will receive a gift. I think that's so cool because, again, I think that this points to the yod. This points to the destiny. This points to the fact that there may be things that you're still needing to overcome in your life, or like once you do, Spirit is really wanting to bless you with abundance and also with like spiritual gifts. So again, if you are somebody that does have a yod in your birth chart, this can point to once you overcome these things in this lifetime, once you pass your test, essentially, you will ascend to a new spiritual plane. So you could be somebody that will have a lot of spiritual gifts bestowed on you as well. And then with the scales, keep your life in balance. Again, you know, going back to temperance, I feel like balance is something that's very important for you in your life. A healthy balance of travel and community, family time, time with your friends, time with yourself, a healthy balance between logic and intuition. Like, I think at your core, who you're meant to be is a very balanced, wise individual. And so I think it's really cool that that came up, and I think balance is very important to you. And you are somebody that can really feel when things are off kilter and out of balance. And then we'll go ahead and look. I have one last card for you guys. I just wanted like one last little piece of information to give you guys about yourselves. And this is from the Work Your Light Oracle. So let's take a look here. Lemuria, creating heaven on earth. It's happening. Okay, this is really cool. I think that you guys are super cool. I think that we should be friends because I think we would get along very well. And anyway, I think that this is coming up because you are literally here to create a paradise for yourself here on earth, and you're somebody that understands, I think, the importance of creating the life that you want for yourself. And you could also, again, be like a starseed, be somebody that's here, that's supposed to kind of help move us into the next like dimension, the next vibrational frequency. Like, you can definitely be somebody that is here for that. But I think it's interesting that this came up along with the Page of Cups because, again, I see the Page of Cups as somebody that's very like dreamy. Their head's kind of always in the clouds. They're always like, you know, it's very like positive, like daydreams and just like ideas of what the world could be. And I think with like how well traveled you are and how much you pay attention to other people and their point of view, their perspective, that you are somebody that has the capacity to make this life, like to make heaven on earth. You're somebody that has the capacity to make the communities that you are a part of and like your world a beautiful one. Okay. And so I think that this is coming out because Spirit is ultimately saying that you are so very powerful and you have the ability to make anything you touch, like you're like Midas, you can turn anything you touch into gold. And I think that's really, really beautiful. And I think that the way that you think and the way that you connect with other people and create community with people. And again, I feel like you are. I feel like you're somebody that you have friends clear across the world that if you went back to travel there, they would let you stay with them. Like, you're just one of those people. And I think that's so cool. I don't want to ramble on too much more, you guys. I'm going to go ahead and leave it there. But I really hope that this resonated for you. Pile two, I think that you're really dope. And I think that you're going to leave a really beautiful mark on this planet. And I think that's part of your destiny, is just to spread your beauty every day, the beauty that is within you. If this resonated with you, please leave me a comment down below. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I put out new videos every week, new pick a card videos. And again, thanks so much for joining me, you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Hello there, my lovely pile number 3 viewers. If you picked the carnelian, then this is your reading. So let's go ahead and get into it. You probably recognize these cards from the beginning and the intro as well. So I actually have 2 cards for you to give me a better idea, excuse me, of who you are, who you keep hidden from the world. Maybe even aspects of you that you don't even realize are there. And so essentially that's like what I was trying to get for you, is better messages for you to understand who you are at your core. And so I wanted to get 2 cards from the Wild Unknown Archetypes deck to give me a better idea of who you are. So let's go ahead and take a look at your cards here. So we have the Animal and we have the Maiden. And I'm going to be honest with you right off the bat, I'm getting very like conflicting energy. So I'm getting this energy of someone that is very young and naive and likes to explore the unknown with the Maiden. And I'm also getting with the Animal somebody that is very self-assured, somebody that is comfortable in their own skin. So I guess it doesn't have to be super contradictory. But I'm getting a very like vital person, full of life. So I feel like you're somebody that just has like a lot of energy and can go, go, go. You're like the Energizer Bunny. Hold on one second, actually. Let me turn off my fan. I don't know how loud it is for you. I don't want to disrupt too much. Okay. So, anyways, I feel like regardless, you are somebody that is like very free-spirited, would probably be the best way to say it. You love to try new things. You're curious about life. You are like very young in nature. And so you could be somebody that is like a younger soul, but you could also just be somebody with a very young, lighthearted personality. With the Animal though, here, there is something more, I don't even know what the right word is that I'm looking for, but there's something a little bit more rough to you. I don't know, I just got like a lot of fiery vibes, like a lot of fiery energy, especially too with like the carnelian. So you could be somebody that has like a lot of fire placements in your chart, just like you're very much so, I'm trying to find the best word to describe it. I'm sorry, like we're getting toward the end of Mercury retrograde, and there are times where I feel like what's coming through for me is very strong, and then there are other times where I'm like, what is the word that I'm looking for? But I just feel this sense of being very curious and also being very like driven, somebody that's very passionate and fiery and just like has a lot of emotion. There's somebody that when they come into a room, like people can really feel your energy, and you may be the type of person even that when you walk into a room, you can shift like the total energy of that room. You're very powerful. I think that this is like really cool energy actually. And with the Animal here, you may be somebody that is very connected to animals, to nature, to earth. You may be somebody that enjoys, you know, going outside and being adventurous. You may be that person that, like, I'm also like getting the image of like the mountain goat, like Capricorn in my head, of somebody that like will take the road less traveled, somebody that will take the path that is a little bit more difficult just for like the enjoyment and the thrill of doing so. And I think that it helps that you're like a little bit more spontaneous, and I don't want to say you don't think things through, because I don't think that's true. But I think that you live in your spontaneity more, and you're more often to be the person that if somebody came up to you and was like, hey, do you want to go skydiving with me? You'd be like, yeah, sure, let's go. And like, you wouldn't even think about it. You wouldn't even hesitate. So yeah, that's like the energy that I'm getting, really. You may be somebody even that like is thrilled by the idea of like deep sea cave diving, or somebody that would like go into like a little tiny cavern or passage in a cave just to like get in there because you're able to. You very much so seem to me like the kind of person that would like easily push your limits because you just want to see like what it is you're really capable of. And I think that's kind of cool, actually. So let's go ahead to, I have the Black Moon astrology card deck here for you as well. And so I wanted to get a little bit more information maybe on like who you are astrologically, the different placements you may have in your chart. And so I wanted to get more information on that as well. So let's go ahead and get into those here too. So I'm just going to move this up a little bit to make sure we have enough room. So we have Leo, I will. Not surprised by that at all. We have Cancer, I feel. Okay, cool. And we have Aquarius, I know. Okay, very interesting energy here. So you're the only one, I think, so far that I've gotten like 3 actual like astrological signs, and not just like houses or other things that may come up in the chart, like patterns or transits or anything like that. So that's really kind of cool. Now these could be indicative of your sun, moon, rising sign, but this could also just kind of be more energy of who you are. So again, with Leo, I will, this makes a lot of sense. You seem like you're very driven, like you're a very passionate person. I like to think of this, like what's coming across for me is, so I have a Leo Mars, and you can be like very hot-headed sometimes. You can get angry very quickly, and you can ramp up very quickly, but you also have like this amazing willpower to like complete the tasks that you want to and get the things done that you want to. And Leo doesn't get enough credit, I don't think, for being like as organized and efficient as they are. When a Leo really wants something, they're good at planning it out. They're good at being strategic with what it is that they want to pursue, and they're very tenacious. And so I feel like that is why this is coming through for you here. It's interesting too, because you got Cancer, I feel. So you may have some water placements in your chart. I get the feeling though, especially with like this depiction with this eye coming out, you may be somebody that is very spiritually connected. You could be somebody that has had paranormal experiences in your life. You see things, and really like you could also be somebody that is clairsentient, so you feel like shifts in energy. I feel like because your energy is so strong and dominant, you feel shifts in energy very quickly. So you're the person that may, you know, tell people, I want to leave, I don't really have good vibes about this, or I don't like the energy, it's off here, or whatever. So I think that's really interesting, and that is kind of like what I'm feeling you may be, is that person that just kind of gets those like feelings about energy and vibe, and like even really deep gut feelings. So you know, that could be associated with water in your chart, but it could also just kind of be who you are. You could have Cancer in your chart somewhere, but it could also be Pisces or Scorpio energy. But yeah, I feel like you're somebody that is like, I believe that's the correct one, clairsentience, where you get like clear feelings about things. And then with Aquarius, I feel like you're a little bit of a weirdo. Like, you are somebody that may be a little quirky on the inside, and you may hide that from people, but you may have like really cool ideas. You may think about things in very different ways from the people around you. And I feel like you don't always express how you feel, because for some reason I'm getting the feeling that for a lot of you, because you're so like dynamic and energetic, you've always kind of run with a bigger crowd of people, and you may not have people that you feel like around you all of the time that you feel like you can open up to. There may be like a select few people that really know like this side of you, but I feel like you're the type of person that would like get high or something and would sit there and think very deeply about life and existence and what we're all doing here. And you feel like you're somebody that has like a lot of really cool, imaginative, like different eccentric ideas. And I feel like Spirit is saying that you should share those more often. Because I feel like even with the people that you trust and you're closest to, you don't necessarily share everything with. And perhaps you should share your ideas a little bit more with people and just kind of like talk things out. Keep in mind though that like just because other people don't agree with you doesn't mean that you're wrong. It's just good, I think, to share like different ideas and perspectives and point of views, because you may open up another way of thinking for somebody else, essentially, because that's how vast I'm seeing your mind to be. Let's go ahead here too, and we'll look at your tarot cards and see what other information we can get for you for the reading about who you are. So I don't purposefully put reversals in this deck, but the Ten of Wands flew out, and it flew out in reverse. So I was like, whatever, we'll go with it. So you got the Ten of Wands, you got Judgment, you got, this wasn't reversed, the Six of Wands, you got the Ace of Pentacles, and you got the Three of Wands. Okay. Let me just make sure we're still in shot here so you can see everything. Yep, we're good. Okay. So I'm gonna be honest, I feel like you are somebody that, with the Ten of Wands coming out and with this depiction, I feel like you're somebody that, again, have the capacity to be successful, and you do things like kind of out of the box and differently. But I feel like what this card is really saying in reverse is that, excuse me, I'm so sorry. Apparently I did not get enough sleep last night. I feel like what this card is really saying, maybe I'm feeling this way because maybe you're a sleepy person. Maybe when you're watching this, I feel like your energy's kind of drained, because again, I feel like you're a very vibrant person. You have a lot of energy to give, but just like everybody else, I'm sure you go through like your ebbs and flows and your dips in energy, and this may be one of those times for you, and maybe that's why it's coming across, because I swear I have not yawned this much all day. But anyway, I feel like with the way that this card is coming out, that you essentially, like, I feel like you have the capacity to be somebody that leads others, because you're so powerful. You just have such a powerful, magnetizing energy about you that people really like. And I feel like I get like strong, like fire sign, or like fire sign, like Leo vibes, and Leo is a good leader. You could also have like Aries placements even, because Aries is like that natural leader of the zodiac and is a cardinal sign, and cardinal signs are kind of like our natural leaders. And that could be you. And I feel like you don't necessarily give yourself enough credit for this. I feel like you don't understand your ability to lead people and the effect that you have on other people. Because again, I think that you are very powerful, and you just have this very charming, charismatic, open energy about you, and like this fiery side to you that people really enjoy, because again, you're somebody that's kind of like spontaneous and fun, and you are very self-assured as well. Like with the animal coming out, I do feel like you're somebody that is very self-assured. You're comfortable in your own skin. You're comfortable with who you are. And at least that's who you portray yourself to be. Again, I think we all, you know, have like insecurities that we deal with even once we've kind of worked through them. And I feel like you are your harshest critic. And even though you may feel called to lead other people, I feel like you don't see your own strengths, and you don't understand that you would make a really good leader. And it's okay if you feel like, well, what would I lead people on? What do I know more of other people like than other people do? Like, I'm not an expert in anything in particular. You don't have to be to lead other people. Some people are natural born leaders, and they're just able to rally people together better than other people are. And I think it helps that you have a very open mind, and you think about things very differently than other people do, because I think you have a lot of really good creative ideas that you would be able to, you know, allow other people to see things the way that you do, or allow people to be like, oh, you know what, that's actually really cool. What can I do to like help you? Or what can I do? Like, what part can I play to help make that a reality, is kind of what I'm getting at. You know, this is very similar to one of the other readings. I'm doing your reading on a separate day than I did the other two. And I can't remember if it was pile 1 or pile 2, but if you were drawn to either of those as well, you may want to go back and listen to that reading too. There may be other messages in there for you. But I feel like you do have the capacity to like lead other people, kind of like go against the grain, do things differently than what other people have done in the past. And for people to acknowledge you, or like acknowledge your accomplishments and acknowledge the things that you do and create, especially with the 6 of Wands coming out here like this. And with the 3 of Wands coming out, you know, again, I've got a lot of fiery energy here with the 10 of Wands, the 6 of Wands, the 3 of Wands. With the 3 of Wands coming out, I feel like, again, you're able to see things from a different perspective than other people are. And I feel like you can see the whole picture better than other people can. Whereas like with someone, they may only be able to see like a snippet or a piece of something. You're able to step back and really like examine the whole picture and do things that are in the best interest of like humanity and like the greater, you know, good, and for the collective, I guess is what I should say. But you are somebody that can really exemplify and like show people, okay, well, yeah, I understand the importance of that, but like we need to look at things big picture wise. So I feel like you're somebody as well that would be like, I would have a very good knack for like being a planner, because you pay attention, like even like a wedding planner or something like that, because you pay attention to like the fine details and the bigger picture better than other people do. So I think that's really interesting that that's coming about. With the Ace of Pentacles coming, actually, I'm seeing this more as like body physical than like actual like money or material goods or whatever. It could be that for some of you, but I feel like for a lot of you, you have a lot of insight to offer other people in like being comfortable in their own skin and who they are, especially with the animal coming out here. And so I think that by you sharing more of like how your brain thinks and how things work for you in your head, you'll be able to kind of open up a new level for people of like self-appreciation and a connection with like themselves and earth. And you know, especially with like Aquarius coming up too. Aquarius is like the humanitarian of the zodiac, and Aquarius really likes to put the spotlight on the collective and other people instead of themselves. And so I feel like you may be here to play like a part in that, in terms of doing things and coming up with ideas that will benefit a lot of people and not just yourself. And I'm really getting that here with like the Ace of Pentacles. I'm feeling like this is coming through more as like the earth and, you know, doing things to help our planet and helping other people, but also like helping other people with like their confidence and self-assurity. Like you may be that like hype person for other people. And so I think that you should do more to share like your knowledge and the things that you think, and the way that you think, because again, even if we can't change the minds of other people, sometimes just sharing our ideas helps people see things from a different perspective than what they did previously. But yeah, I think that this is very interesting, but I do think that what is coming through is that you have the potential to be a very good leader. You would be very good in leadership positions, but you need to stop being so harsh on yourself and thinking that no one is going to want to follow you in your path, because it's just not true. I think that there are a lot of people that would really vibe with you and the things that you believe and the things that you come up with and the things you say. And I think that you need to give yourself a little bit more credit than that. And I think that's what Spirit is essentially saying, is that you have the potential to do that, to get people to follow you and recognize like your ideas and your accomplishments and who you are. And I think that a lot of it for you will be driven by like this passion, by this desire to do something that really resonates with you. And this could be career-based, but this could also just be like you getting out and being like a humanitarian, doing things for the planet, doing things for other people and the betterment of other people, because it's what you enjoy doing, okay? Like, I never think we're on the wrong path if we're doing something that truly makes us happy, that truly, you know, excites us and we love to do. Okay, so I think that that is what Spirit's saying with these cards for you. But it's very interesting because I feel like I got this, like the Three of Wands, the Six of Wands, maybe even Judgment to come up on one of the other readings. So again, you may want to tune into those messages as well. I feel like the Ten of Wands even came up. So I don't know, guys. I promise you I'm shuffling the crap out of these cards. I don't know. That's just, you have a very similar message, I guess. You may be people that are kind of like kindred spirits and walking on the same path as well. So anyway, let's go ahead and look at the additional messages that we got for you. So we got two other messages for you from the Tea Leaf Fortune card, or Fortune Oracle deck. I don't even remember what it's called. Don't ask me. But Tea Leaf. So we'll go ahead and look at those here real quick too. So you got you got psychic ability, trust your intuition. And Crown, honor and respect will come to you. Okay, very cool, actually. Very interesting that we have like two eyes here. Again, I think that for you with this coming up, you are somebody that should trust your intuition. I really do think that you're somebody that has clairsentience, and you can really tune in to the change in energy and vibes around you, and you get that like natural gut instinct about situations, about other people. And I think that Spirit is wanting you to know, like, as a confirmation that this is true, this is who you are, and it's okay to listen to that intuition, to that gut feeling that you get. And you know, I think that also this may be why you're somebody that is so like spontaneous and sporadic, because you kind of just go toward whatever calls you, honestly. And I do think that you're already somebody that's really good at following like your passions and desires, but I think that this is just supposed to be more confirmation for you that you are somebody that's supposed to do that. You're supposed to do the things that you enjoy, because that is your path, essentially, is to be doing things that you are drawn to. And so, you know, you may go on a random solo hike in the middle of the day because you feel called to, and you're just that kind of person. And, you know, I think that is kind of part of your intuition and your intuitive hits that you receive, is that you just kind of go with the flow and you just kind of do things because the idea comes to you, it strikes a chord with you, and you decide, you know what, I just want to do that, so let's go ahead and do it, which I think is pretty cool. With the crown coming up, I feel like this is kind of tying back into the leadership that spirit is wanting you to recognize within yourself. Honor and respect will come to you, I feel like, is, kind of a part of the Six of Wands energy. It's a very much so like victorious type of card, but I believe that the Six of Wands is also correlated with Sun and Leo. And again, Leo is very much so about, being praised for their accomplishments and the things that they come up with. I'm not saying that you need to be that that's you, that you need praise from other people, but I want you to know that you are here to do really great things. I think that you are here and you have a purpose to help others, and you have a purpose to do something beneficial for the collective, and you have the capacity to lead other people, and other people will recognize like your leadership abilities and will follow you, and they will do the things that you've done or try to follow in your footsteps because you become so successful and doing what you enjoy, doing what lights you up, just by like following your intuition, listening to yourself, and pursuing things that really make you happy. And I think that you will get a lot of recognition for being a leader for other people in your life. And so I think that that's why that this is coming out for you. And also just like as a reminder, that you are a powerful being. You are somebody that other people are drawn to for a reason, and don't let your crown fall off your head. Like, don't forget that how powerful you are and what you're capable of. And don't think just because you're not the most knowledgeable person on a subject that you can't lead people, you can't provide guidance to people, you can't provide input in certain situations, because again, everybody's input is valuable, okay? Let's go ahead and look at the final card here for you. So I went ahead and just wanted one more card about information for you from the Work Your Light Oracle deck, and you got Priestess. How are you being called to step up and lead? Again, I am so sorry. I am just yawning all over the place today. How are you being called to step up and lead? So what can you do to help other people? What insight can you provide other people? And this card really doesn't even have to be about you being like this super strong leader and like knowing everything and being like the most competent and capable. I think that the best leaders understand that they are not the best match for every single job that's going to need to be done, when it comes to building or creating something, right? Like, they're not the ones that are going to be able to do every single task. A great leader is somebody that recognizes even their weaknesses, and they're able to ask other people for assistance, and they're able to, direct other people on, what needs to be done, and kind of give those people free rein because they recognize that those people may have different talents or attributes than what they have. And so a really good leader, and like this message is coming across now too, a really good leader, which I believe you have the capability to be, is somebody that can see everything from the larger perspective, like the big picture, and realize, okay, I'm going to need people that have skills in this to get this done. I'm going to need people that have these kind of skills, people that have these kind of skills, and then seek out the best of those people and understand that everybody brings something different to the table. And I think that at your core, you know that, and you're somebody that is able to recognize other people's gifts and talents that they may not even recognize in themselves, and then put them in the positions that they need to be in to help out a project or to get to the end goal that you're wanting. So I think that, again, like Spirit is calling you to recognize that you have these abilities within you, and you're able to you know, recognize other people's strengths and weaknesses and put them in positions accordingly, essentially. Like, you are somebody that has the ability to create something grand and beautiful because you recognize that everybody has a part to play, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and leave your reading there, pile number 3. I hope that this was helpful for you and resonated with you. Again, if you were drawn to, I want to say it was pile 1, but I truthfully don't remember. So if you were drawn to any of the other piles, you may want to take a look at that as well, just to see if there are any other messages in there for you. But anyways, if this resonated with you, please leave me a comment down below, give this video a thumbs up, and make sure to subscribe to my channel. I put out new pick a card readings every week, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for joining me, and I love you, and I wish you all the best, okay? Bye.